the title is Philosophy for Revolution, and first we were going to call it From Theory to Practice, but that's sort of rather general, and we were thinking it must be specifically about today's world and how philosophy relates to contemporary problems. Of course, looking at the history as well, but the idea of philosophy is rather a big question, and it's a very, very fundamental thing in our lives. So that's why we called it philosophy. And the revolution part is how our thinking and how people's thinking and our ideas actually relate to what we do. My part will hopefully show a deeper understanding of the way we think and how that relates to overcoming the problems that we face in actually transforming society. It will address the kind of standard ways of thinking which hold us back from being able to find ways of changing things. The way it's constructed is very, very basic and fundamental. It doesn't assume that anybody really has a training in philosophy at all. It assumes we're starting from the most fundamental questions, which are common and simple in reality. It's not an academic course. It's not a course about just talking the talk. It's about talking the talk so we can walk the walk. Well, it's clear that in the Glasgow discussions, the priority was given to status quo people and organisations who actually fuel and worsen and cause the climate crisis. They had the top table, and those who were against that situation were confined to the outskirts, which is obviously disgusting and disgraceful. But it showed that there was this mass movement against the big polluters, the big carbon producers, the fossil fuel corporations who get huge subsidies, trillions of dollars and pounds in subsidies and support to keep this extraction and pollution and global warming at the present level. And that's really what we've got to challenge and find ways of changing that, because just challenging it and just complaining and saying this is terrible and airing our grievances isn't going to change it. It means the whole structure of society in terms of the state and the economy and education has to be transformed in a fundamental way. There's a lot of gloom and doom about, there's a lot of this is our last chance idea, which in a way it's true, it is our last chance. But there's also this kind of hopelessness about and pessimism, and which is understandable, but we need to understand that human beings actually do solve problems. That's in our very fundamental nature, that we can solve problems. And that's why this is a very important moment for developing concepts and ideas for changing the way things are.